Such a killjoy.
Life is inconceivable without theatre, and I think theatre really brings to life for both performers and audience everything that really matters to them. And it's where we learn who we are, I think.
I'd like to meet you, and I'd like you to meet them. May I bring them in?
Certainly. You all eat and have...
Not just yet, Father.
I suppose we're very lucky living in Brussels because there are lots of opportunities to get involved in amateur dramatics. Oh, definitely. Because as an interpreter you do have to impersonate, if you like, the people whose ideas you are interpreting. You have to come across convincingly in the same way as the speakers themselves want to do. And I suppose the interpreter to some extent is like a theatre director in that he has to establish the link between the performer, the speaker, and the audience, who is the listener in a meeting. I would say you're quite right. Interpreting is not translating. Translating is working on producing the most accurate, the most exact, the most satisfying version in another language of something which is written in a particular language. Interpreting is all about facilitating communication, and you cannot afford as an interpreter to be a perfectionist because you only have one go at it. You can't sort of produce a draft of what you've heard and put it to one side and then come back to it in the same way as a translator can do. So they're very, very different disciplines, although they both, of course, involve an understanding of foreign languages. Because I read the play and loved it, and because I have a sort of love affair with Friel, the author, having already directed his Dancing at Luna's twice in Brussels, and I wanted to turn my sights on what is, I think, a more difficult play, but an equally rewarding play. It's probably only as a result of the rehearsal process that I will be able to form any sort of conclusion as to what the play is about. It is a fascinating play. It's a tragedy, it's a comedy, it's a play which is very moving and which I think celebrates our common humanity, which I think all the best theatre does. The biggest challenge is managing to stay abreast of events so that you can do justice to all of the breadth of subject matter that you encounter in the meetings where you interpret. There's more sort of formal presentation of pre-prepared positions, and I don't really get much of a buzz out of interpreting that. I don't do it very well. I don't think most interpreters would say that they do it very well. It's just something that we have to do as part of our job. But it's increasingly what our job consists of, and to that extent I would say that I enjoyed being an interpreter much more a quarter of a century ago than I do now. My job.
My job is to translate the quaint, archaic tongue you people persist in speaking into the King's good English.
Move, move, move! Put some order on things. Come on, Sarah, hide that bucket. Whose are those slates, these slates? Somebody take these dishes away. Festinati! Festinati!
I've enjoyed living in Brussels because it was an excellent city in which to bring up my children, and also because it has an awful lot to offer. On the surface it doesn't seem to be too exciting a place, but if you scratch a little bit you'll see that there's quite a lot going on, and it's a very, very pleasant place to live.